Start talking?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. So here's approximately 3 pounds of country style ribs.
Lives.
Ribs. And then you've got your grape jelly, chili sauce, mustard. It calls for Dijon, but I use this one because it's always there. And then just a red wine. So I'm doubling the recipe. I'm going to send you a recipe, but I'm doubling it because I like mine to soak in there. So here's what we're going to do. This is a little bit over what it calls for, but I'm just going to use the whole container because otherwise it's just going to be a little bit left over. Okay, so I use the whole container. Leave it there just so it drains out. And then grape jelly, half a cup. I'm going to use a whole cup. I use cups out. Okay, oh, here we go. Alright. So remember, I'm doubling the recipe. And that's just me. You don't have to do that. So I dump that in there. Mix it up. Smells good already.
Can't smell it.
Oh, sorry. Okay. And 1 tablespoon of red wine. So I'm going to double 2. There's no onions in here, so Cody should like it. Alright. And Dijon mustard. Or not Dijon mustard, but you know.
Mustard. How much does that call for?
This calls for a teaspoon, so I'm doubling it. Okay. So we're mixing. I kind of break up the jelly because it's like in clumps.
Probably use a whisk.
If you have a whisk, yeah. I think you guys will really like this because it's really, really good. Alright, Smarty Pants, I'm going to use your idea and do a whisk.
Let's see how that works.
Okay. What a Smarty Pants she is. She actually had a good idea.
Of course.
Okay. It's going to smell kind of funky, but it's really, really good after it's done. Okay. I think that's about it. I just make sure it's kind of broken up, the jelly, and everything's mixed really good. And, okay, looks like that. Okay. Let me make sure I have everything. Okay, jelly, red wine, mustard, chili sauce, and then here comes the ribs. Okay, so, here are your country style ribs. I usually just roll them. Like that. And then that way, I marinate them overnight. Put that up there just so I can get these in here. I marinate them overnight just so it can kind of soak in. And then usually if depending on how early you do it, I flip them a couple times. So if you remember during the day, if you're not gonna make them till dinner the next day, I flip them a couple times. And that's it. That's what it looks like. You can flip them with your fingers, like the next day, a couple times, or just take a spoon and just put the sauce over it. And that's it. You put it like that, and then it tells you to cook it at 325 temperature, the oven. I would do mine on the grill, but you don't have a grill, so. But we'll send you the recipe, so then that way you know how to do it in the oven. But it's really, really good, and you'll like it. And tell Cody there's no onions in it. Okay, thank you for being in Sana's kitchen today.